Answering in Spanish.
Sí, ¿por qué?
Sí, ¿por qué?
Buenos días. ¿Cómo
Actually,
Hey, how are you guys? I'm here with my friend Chelsea Toddler. How are you today?
Doing well, thanks, Luis.
Can we discuss a little bit of what we're doing today here?
So what we're doing today is the first day of the World Logic Day weekend, and Logic Tree is hosting the largest gathering for a World Logic Day in the world. It happens in 33 different countries, but we're proud to bring it to our home of Austin, Texas. Today we have Logic Purpose Labs and our Logic Talk series, which brings together experts from here locally and all over the world, as well as collaborative sessions that integrate logic.
Wow, that's amazing. So I think that I have an idea on this one, but could you share with the audience what are you passionate about? What's Chelsea? What excites her, and why do you want to wake up every day?
So I would say supporting empowering change makers is why I wake up every day, and helping people find their purpose in community building. And so when I think about impact and scalable impact, you might be wondering, why logic? I feel that logic, especially in this new era of AI, is a safeguard against inequality, and we can use logic to better bridge divides to create world peace together.
Great answer. And could you share, when I say belonging, what comes to your head? What's belonging for you?
Belonging is when we have a world in which no one feels like they don't have a home or a supporter or a mentor or access to the knowledge and the opportunities that they need to succeed.
Wow, powerful. We have a power woman here, so I love it. And the last question that I have for you, if you could give advice to your younger self, to that younger Chelsea, what would it be and why?
I would tell
We're getting deep here.
these are serious questions, Luis. I would tell younger Chelsea to never stop dreaming, never stop believing in the power of people and the power of choice and the importance of the decisions that you're going to make in your life.
Amazing. And that you're going to have a Luis in your life for all. No, thank you so much for sharing this with us and for having us. We are very grateful with you.
say it one more time. Say thank you so much for sharing your story with us today.
Okay. Okay, director. No.
That's right. Hang on.
No. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you, Luis.
Cut.
Mugshot. Okay, mugshot.
I'll take your photo and then I'm going to turn it.
Quiet on set. No, I was kidding. Hey guys, this is Maticus with Sunday Afternoon Project, and I'm here with my friend Chris, right?
Yes,
How are you doing today?
doing great.
Ooh, I really went off on that one for a second. So I've got a couple questions for you. What are you passionate about?
I am passionate about encouraging better, more collaborative, productive debate. I am passionate about helping people, difficult topics, helping anyone grasp those topics, making everything easy, accessible, so that we can see more flourishing for humanity.
Is there an example you can give?
Well, I can share that a large part of what we're working on is, in my journey as a founder, I have had to go through really complicated legal decisions and financial decisions and so many things that have created, that kind of created a bit of a headache going through all of those, made a lot of mistakes. And so what we're working on is now the technology that anyone that wants to start their own company, we're giving them access to all of the tools that hopefully helps them prevent the mistakes that I made and, also prevent that headache that I went through.
Well, that's a great founder right there, sharing your resources. So I'm sure that's very much appreciated. Okay, let's see if we can step. I took over you on a little bit. Okay, and let's see here. What does belonging mean to you?
I think that belonging means that you feel uninhibited to be able to share your ideas or your feelings on a topic. So part of belonging is feeling like the people that you are surrounded by, or that you feel like you don't have to hold back on the way you feel about something, that you feel like you can freely share that. You feel like you're not going to be judged or I think that's belonging.
And do you think that you found that in Austin, or is there a different city?
Yeah, well, I think I found that mostly with our team, with the people here today. The people that are here today. I mean, right now Unify is speaking about how they're an organization focused on how do we encourage better collaborative conversation. And a large part of that is we'll give people that sense of belonging that they can feel more free to speak about how they feel.
It's amazing. I know that we're here for in a business event for World Logic Day, but on a personal level, if you were able to go back and tell your younger self one thing, what do you think you would say?
I think it's funny. I think that because Unify just shared that part of also what causes us a lot of mental health and stress is when reality doesn't match our expectations. And so to my former self, I would have shared that some things take longer than you think, and trying to rush, wanting things to happen faster than they can will cause you undue stress, and stressing about that is stressing about something you can't change. And so how to be more willing to accept that sometimes things take a timeline that's longer than you might expect it to be.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. I think everyone has expected failure. Can you share with us maybe how many times you failed and gotten back up?
Many times. So 5 to 10. So, and I think through life, everything is just, every mistake is something that we learn, from that. So I think all of our lives are just, we've gone through a lot of failures. We learn from it. We get back up. We get better from it. And then hopefully we start making better decisions along the way.
I think we will never give up. Thank you so much, Chris, for sharing your story with us. We appreciate it. The red one.
Hey, how are you guys? I'm here with my friend Alex today. How are you?
Doing well. Excited for it's day one of World Logic Day, so couldn't be happier.
That's amazing. An amazing event happening in Austin. So for the second year in a row. So that's super exciting. Could you share with us what are you passionate about? What excites you?
For me, it's kind of leaving a legacy, having a footprint in this world, and taking everything that I'm able to experience and share it with others, and also, just continue to evolve and make the future generation, have something to be kind of excited about.
That's great. And you mentioned like leaving a legacy. What would you say that you are doing to leave that legacy that you want to leave behind?
Yeah. For me, it's definitely always kind of wrapping up whatever I can in the knowledge and the experience that I've had and passing that on. But building an ecosystem of welcoming where our work, our kind of
Great. And when I say belonging, what comes to your head? For you, what's belonging?
Yeah, I think belonging is where you don't have to change who you are. You can find a place where you can thrive, a community of like-minded people that share your values, and somewhere you don't have to shift, your perception of, what you believe in at your core.
Yeah, and if we can go back in time and you can go and speak to that little Alex when it was a kid, what advice would you give to yourself?
Trust yourself. I think trust is the biggest thing that we can have. When you lose it, you kind of feel shaken. So I think always knowing that moral centered compass that's guiding you through life, just trust it, and everything will take care of itself.
Yeah, I really think that that's something that we all have to learn, to trust ourselves. It's really hard, and I really love that you brought that up. So thank you. Yeah. Yes.
Joshua 7259. 7259. Everyone's like a little divergent or kind of show right there. Right. Well, my name is Manicus. I'm here with the Sunday Afternoon Project, and we are here getting some notes from some story sharers. So I have 3 questions for you.
Okay.
We'll see how fast you can answer them or how long not.
No, perfect.
Okay. So my first one is what are you passionate about?
Well, today, okay, great. So what we're discussing at World Logic Day on Sunday is about how people process pain to joy, both physical and non-physical. So helping people on the more human level, to help people come and see where they're coming from a pain point of view. So it's helping them process that pain in whatever format. So that's my passion.
That's amazing. That's a really great question. And can you tell me what is belonging for you?
Oh, belonging. For me, my purpose is kind of outside of myself. So for belonging, it's that connection. So I say home is where the connection is. So that connection for me is outside of myself. So for me, I'm a Christian. I believe God is the source. And so understanding that belonging is a part of a greater community, right? It's a body.
Yeah, very large.
Yeah. So having that global community, that community is being able to belong to something bigger than myself. So for me, that's where I have that unconditional love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. Those are the mindsets of helping process from pain to that mindset, and that's the belonging to me.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And our last question is, if you were able to go back and tell yourself one thing, if you're able to tell your younger self one thing in the past,
Oh my gosh. No worries.
if you're able to go back into the past and tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
What would it be? I would say that being able to have that understanding of belonging, of that community, of knowing that it is bigger than yourself and life is more. So to be able to have, where 2 or more are gathered in his name, there is he in the midst of us. So to have that connection of iron sharpening iron, you can't do life on your own. So diamond sharpens diamond. You need that other, basically something else bigger than yourself. So that enhances and augments. So that for me is finding that community and to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Joshua, for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
That's it.
Hey, how are you guys? I'm here with my new friend Ellen. How are you this morning?
I am so happy to be here. Thank you.
We are so happy that you are going to be sharing some stories with us. So let's start. My first question for you is, what are you passionate about? What makes Ellen wake up every morning?
What makes Ellen wake up every morning? Man, there's so many things.
That's great. Tell us.
Beats the alternative to not waking up every morning. I think right now what my passion is about creating a world where people have access to information that they can trust. And it's changing the paradigm from fighting mis and disinformation to a little more positive outcome, which is, are there places can go? Can we create a demand for quality information?
That's super interesting, and I think that you are in the right place to do that. So I really love it. When I say belonging to you, what does Ellen's bring? Where does it go? Does it go? Like, what's belonging?
What is belonging? It's being a part of something bigger than you. It's being passionate about achieving objectives. It's fun. I mean, I think we really overlook fun, but I think belonging is fun. It's being with other people who all share similar goals and do their part, and it's warmth. It's a hug.
Oh, wow! I really like the way that you put it there. Yeah, it's something cozy. It's something warm. I really love how you frame it there. And if you have the chance to go back in time and give advice to the younger Ellen, what would you say to that little girl?
Don't worry so much about what other people think. Don't worry about how your actions will create a reaction. That if you're true to yourself and if you're kind, you waste too much time worrying about how others will react to the things you do, the things you say, and the decisions you make.
So you hear that, guys. Do not worry what people think about you. Just go and do it, right?
Right, exactly.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time and for talking and sharing with us.
Thank you. This
yes?
was fun.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
I'm not 999.
Oh, wow.
No, you're 4460.
999.
So 1320, 1320. Okay. How do you say that? Tolga?
Tolga. Yeah.
Tolga. Oh, no, I can never get names. Let's see. Go this way.
I'm a little bit too tall, I think.
Yeah. Why is this far back? All right, guys. Hey, this is Manicus with the Saturday Afternoon Project, and I'm here with Tolga. Are you visiting Austin or?
No, I live here. I've been living here on and off since 2002, and I made it my permanent home in 2016.
2002.
Yeah.
So you said you 2002 and you waited till 2016 to make your permanent home?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I've traveled all around and lived in a lot of fun places, and then decided in 2016, you know what, something just keeps bringing me back here, so that's the sign, and decided to live here permanently.
Okay, now it's the home base. I feel that I love Austin as well. So could you tell me something that you're passionate about or what makes you passionate?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that some people don't know, a lot of my friends know, but I actually lost my leg in a bus accident when I was a child in Turkey. And one of the things that I'm really passionate about is, prosthetics are expensive. There's only a few companies that make prosthetics, and because of that, they can cost upwards of $110,000. The one I wear today costs the medical system here in the U.S. $60,000 or more. And ultimately, what's really needed is a low-cost and an effective type of prosthetic that is accessible to a lot more people. One where healthcare insurance companies are not trying hand and foot to actually not pay for these things, but instead it's a very high utility product that's cost effective and available to as many people as possible. So that's what I'm really passionate about.
I'm so sorry to hear that's happened to you.
that's absolutely
Is that what brought you here today? Is that a part of what you're representing, or?
No, I'm actually a part of LogicTree, and I head the enterprise business unit here. And as part of my job, it's really to help companies make decisions a lot faster and a lot more efficiently, so that they're not disrupted by, some of the things that are happening in the world, and can keep their employees focused and on task with everything.
Okay, so you're doing a lot to create positive impact. Okay.
Hopefully so.
So can you tell me, what does belonging mean for you?
I think belonging means, as a collective society, really sharing the responsibilities that we have, not just to look out after ourselves, but to make sure that we are collectively helping each other out as well. Because, everybody's really good at one or two specific things, but not everybody's good at every single thing. And that's why we need to take care of each other. We need to move forward together. And by helping each other out, I think we'll all be better off.
How do you find yourself building a sense of community?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just making sure that I listen to people. I try to understand what they care about, what their needs are, and I try to offer them my help, and I also offer, things that I need as well. So by kind of doing that and understanding each other as much as possible through events like this and networking outside of this, and really also being a part of the community in volunteering and social service, I think really helps in terms of creating a sense of belonging for myself.
That's amazing. So in your personal friendships, what kind of friend do you see yourself as? It sounds like you're such a planner. Does that reflect in your friendships?
Yeah, absolutely. I am an ENTJ and in my Myers-Briggs, so it definitely checks. And certainly I like to plan things out with my friends and make sure that we make time for each other and to have a fun time, as well as sometimes just a chill time. And just getting to know each other is really important, and that's the thing that really creates that deeper connection with somebody, I feel.
Yeah, a great sense of unity. I love that. Tolga's got to be on the trip because we need a planner for sure. What advice would you give your younger self?
I think to really understand that, work and professional advancement isn't everything. I think what you need to do sometimes is to really be able to listen and feel the world around you, to really understand how humanity works, how other people care about sometimes the same things, but a lot of times different things than you do, and to really get to know them and to spend time doing things that are not just fun, but also just impactful as well. Instead of just focusing on work or academics all the time, I think it's important to be able to kind of go out there and smell the roses too.
Okay, I think that's an amazing response. But say that you were talking to someone in the younger adolescent as yourself. How do you think you would format that so they can understand and interpret what you're trying to say?
I would say that, sometimes, you're going to work really hard when you need to, and you should do that. But other times, really evaluate. If you think about like living as like a war, each challenge we have is like a battle. Which battles are really worth fighting, and which ones are the ones where you say, you know what, I actually don't really need to work on this so much. Instead, I'd like to get better myself, rather than trying to advance, or get like a slightly higher grade in school, or get to that promotion just maybe a month faster than you would normally would. So.
Yeah, all the time. Well, thank you so much, Tolga, for sharing your story with us.
Absolutely, great to meet you.
Good to meet you. It's going to feel real close shot. Oh, okay, I'm going backwards. 0147. Okay, and you're just going to stand right here in front of your X, right in front of it.
Right in front of it.
Right, like your whole back foot.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's like a shadow going on, kind of thing going on.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get real close. Hi, my name is Matticus. I'm here from the Saturday Afternoon Project. What's your name?
My name is Anna. I am the owner of Texas Tiki Time, which is a mobile tiki bartending business in Austin.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, there's a lot of founders out here that are out today. What made you want to come to Logic?
So I met Natalie Poindexter, and she told me to come to this, and I was like, sure. I got laid off from my tech job at the end of the year, so I have a lot of free time to now come and just do things, engage more with the Austin community. So I wanted to come and just learn and see what it's about.
So tell me about that a little bit more. So you got laid off in tech. Can you say what company?
So I was a contractor at Meta.
Okay.
I worked in UX research in the ops side, so I helped coordinate and recruit participants to come in for research studies.
That's amazing. So what inspired you to start a business in the tea business?
I've worked in tech and worked in UX research ops for about 5-6 years now, and there's a lot of volatility in the tech world, as we now all see. And so, I never felt really comfortable in my roles because I was always a contractor. And so I just wanted a way to make myself invaluable, which if I start my own business, I'm the only person who can fire myself. So I wanted to just kind of own something and have something concrete, which is why I started my mobile tiki bar business.
That's amazing. And I hope this is okay to say. If you don't want to answer, it's fine. But being a woman in STEM, do you feel like there's been any backlash or anyone's saying that you should stay in STEM?
I don't think that there's any, I didn't necessarily feel it, but I was very much on the ground level of the tech businesses I worked for. So I feel like we were all affected equally by all these shifts and layoffs. Yeah. So I don't know if my gender played a big role in that, but being in research and development, being in that field, I think that more so impacted my employment, because that's usually the first thing to go when companies are pulling back on their budget.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope I didn't make it sound like it was your gender. It was more so of I know a lot of women are they're like, hey, you got to stay in STEM. We got to keep women in digital, and they might be doing a different job. I'm like, well, you come to a STEM job then, okay? Yeah. Well, it sounds amazing that you're doing tea now. Are you more relaxed, or how are you feeling?
I felt like getting laid off was a blessing in disguise for me, because now I can fully commit myself and my time and energy into building my business and my brand. I started an event staffing business a few years ago, and because of COVID, the cost of labor just increased dramatically, and so it just became, there came a point where I had to figure out, how was I going to continue working in service? Because that's truly what I love doing. I love helping people. I love making people happy. And working in catering and event staffing, doing events, it brought a lot of joy to me, but it was hard to sustain myself and pay my bills by doing that exclusively. And so because of COVID, that allowed me to kind of rethink how I was going to do how I was going to approach my business. So I had to think about, what can I do that was unique to Austin? And I fell in love with tiki at the same time. And so I was like, why don't I add a theme to my bartending business? And so that's how Texas Tiki Time was born.
That's amazing. That's a great story. Do you think there's anything that you like learned along the way that you would want to share with another entrepreneur? Like, nope, it's a rough business out there. You gotta figure it out.
Yeah. I would say that for me, already having had a business, I learned a lot of mistakes from doing my first business that now I can rectify with Texas Tiki Time. And for me, I found that networking has been really, really important in growing my business and making sure that I'm connected with people, because referrals are usually the best way to get business. You already have that implicit trust built in with someone referring you to someone else they know. And so, like, that would be the one piece of advice I'd say to someone starting out, is just get out there, network, learn your community, and that way you can learn and curate your audience better.
It's amazing. Well, if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to start a business, remember that it's not always the first one that's successful. Right. Like, I'm on my third myself, so I feel you on that one. So can you tell me what's belonging to you?
For me, belonging is feeling included in your community and feeling a sense of being connected to people. I worked remote in my previous role, and so I was just home most of the time, and it was hard for me to feel like I belonged to anything or any group, because, unless I really put myself out there, I had to create that sense of belonging. I had to, really keep up with my networks and my relationships and friends in order to feel like I belonged. And so now that I am really getting out there, really networking, really building my brand and business, I feel a bigger sense of belonging. Whenever I go to networking groups and see the same faces, meet new people over and over again, I feel like I do belong to my community now.
Has there ever been a time that someone's helped you feel like you belong?
Yeah, when I go out there and network and meet those rare people who are connectors, like Natalie, for example, she is a great connector, and I feel like that involves a lot of giving, and it's so rare to meet people who are willing to give so much and to help other people, connect other people, that, if you do find those people, like, make sure you know them, get to know them, and you give as well, because that's what community is all about, is just giving to one another so that we can all help each other up.
And this might be personal, but I would say for me, like, it almost feels like the kind of overwhelming, overbearing their personalities. Like, did you feel like that was real, or like how did you feel that at all? Like when you first met them, like, did you feel like it was genuine? Was it a genuine feeling? Like, to trust? Because, like, I feel like for someone that's been on their own a lot, it's kind of hard to, like, trust people. Do you go through any of those concerns or worries?
So I moved here from San Francisco about 8 years ago, and I never felt like I was ever part of that community. I felt like I just lived there but didn't belong there. Moving to Austin, I've found that people are a lot more open, genuine, and friendly, and so it made it a lot easier for me to let down my walls and to trust people. And so I never found that the people that I met in Austin that were more giving were ever, like, fake. Like, I always felt like, wow, this person really cares about me and wants to help me and wants to help other people. And so building that community in Austin was a lot faster of a process when I first moved here and didn't know anyone.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I definitely see moving from California to Texas, the hospitality is very different here. So that's a big difference. And our last question for you is, what advice would you give your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to just be who you are and don't worry about how other people make you feel or, like, fear being judged by them, because at the end of the day, like you are who you are, and the world can either accept that or not, right? Like if the people who don't accept you, if you have people who don't accept you, that's fine, because not everyone is going to be your friend. And that's what I would have told myself earlier on, so that I could have just blossomed a lot earlier into who I am now.
Do you think you'd listen?
Probably a little bit.
Yeah, I see a little revolting in you, maybe.
Yeah, I was pretty stubborn, but I always knew, like, I couldn't stay in my hometown. Like, I had to leave, and most of the other people I grew up with stayed. So it just kind of shows you where I was with, who I, like, what I wanted to do with my life. And I didn't really have a lot of friends growing up, probably because I just marched to the beat of my own drum.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I really appreciate that. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
I need to get the remote working.
There you go. Okay, let's start. How are you guys? My name is Luis from the Sunday Afternoon Project, and I have my friend Lynn here, my new friend Lynn here. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Luis. How are you?
I'm doing great, hearing so many great stories. So let's start with the first question. What excites Lynn? What are you passionate about?
Wow, there's so many things I'm passionate about, but one of the things that I've been really focused on over the last several years is women in entrepreneurship, and specifically first-time women founders, and helping them through their journey, helping them get from a concept to an idea, and hopefully helping them accelerate their ideas into something, like a unicorn, a new idea, a new concept, a new business.
I love that because I feel like women are ruling the world lately, and I love it. I'm here for it, and I'm so glad that you're doing that and dedicating yourself to that. So that's amazing. The second question that I have for you, what's belonging? When I say belonging, what's belonging for you?
Wow, belonging for me, I mean, the first thing I think about is like being in a community of supporters, people who are your vibe tribe. I like to call it my vibe tribe. I have an amazing set of women founders, friends, colleagues who over the last several years we have formed together because we all have the same mission, the same vision. We're just so aligned. And when I tell you belonging is like when we can chat about anything from like the hardships, the challenges, to celebrating each other, like that's belonging. Like when you can be really raw and like really just open and transparent, but then also celebrate each other's success, like that is to me like very like belonging.
Wow, I really like the vibe tribe thing that I love that, and I really love that you brought up that it's when you can talk about also your failures, because 100%. That's the hardest part, I think, and that you can do it when you feel like you belong. So
yeah, well, I think a lot of people don't like to be vulnerable, especially with people that are close, like to other people. And I think being vulnerable, being open, sharing your failures, it's in that you're able to actually like thrive. Like when you can be open with people, you just never know what learnings that you can get from it, what support. And I think, I've learned like very early on, you don't ever like to show your failure. And it shows weakness, and it shows like, oh, she doesn't have it together. But actually, it's like in being vulnerable and showcasing like, look, this is how I learned, this is how I failed, that you actually are more real and authentic to people, and people want to help you. And so you turn those failures into successes.
Yeah, guys, you'll be surprised when you start sharing your story and being vulnerable. It takes you to places that you never thought that you were going to be taken. So I love that. The last question that I have for you, if you can go back in time and give advice to that young Lynn, what advice would that be?
I mean, for me, I would say be bold, take risks. I've learned throughout my career and even in my personal life, like life begins at the end of your comfort zone.
Wow.
So be uncomfortable. It's okay. Like if it doesn't make sense, just do it. So.
I think that we found ourselves an ambassador for the Sunday Afternoon Project here. So, yes, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much. This was fantastic. I love everything that you're doing. I can't wait to hear everyone else's stories on your platform. So,
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Wow, that was amazing.
You do her.
For Medicus, so you know who she is. Hey, how are you guys? This is Luis with the Sunday Afternoon Project, and I'm here with my new friend, Elif. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I love that unique name that you have. Could you share with us where is it from, or how did you get that name?
It's Turkish, and it's also the first letter of the Arabic alphabet, Alif. And I was told once by a waiter in a Middle Eastern restaurant that it means close to the heart.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
That's the one I'm going to go with.
But yeah, we're here with you. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. The first question that I have for you, well, technically the second question that I have for you, oh, sorry. There. Okay, yeah. Okay. So the next question that I have for you, what are you passionate about? What excites you?
People excite me. Connections excite me. I am an immigrant. My family immigrated from Turkey when I was around 11 years old. And just, it was a huge deal. So creating a new home in a different space and different people, I've learned that no matter where I am, and I've traveled extensively, I think when you start to connect with others, you find this incredible energy, and that's something that I'm very passionate about. And it doesn't matter if you're on a bus riding somewhere or just meeting people and hearing their stories.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that we need to all be open to share stories and to listen to stories. I think that's very important. This one I'm really, really intrigued of what you're going to say. But what's belonging for you?
Belonging for me is finding people that see you as you are, accept you as you are, and bring out these qualities in you that you didn't even realize that you had. And growing and learning and being curious, those things connect you to others, and I think that creates a really big sense of belonging for me.
Yeah, that's so. It's all about connecting to yourself, to others, and being yourself. I love that. The last question that I have for you, if we can go back in time and you can give advice to your younger self, what would you say to that little dreamer girl in you?
I would say don't be so shy and step out of your comfort zone as much as you can, and there's a whole world out there that is just exciting.
And that advice will take you, because that's exactly what you did today, and I really appreciate it. And you were sharing, and this is something that we believe with the Sunday Afternoon Project, is that when you start sharing stories, you start connecting. And you shared something with me earlier when we talked, and I immediately clicked with you because of that. Could you share that again?
So my best friend from college, and when we met, we were very much like we've known each other all our lives, is from Guatemala. She's actually an Olympic swimmer. She's represented Guatemala 3 times, Blanca Morales. And we became inseparable, and people thought literally we were sisters, and we were very physically similar as well. And I've been to your beautiful country, and
oh my God.
And so I wanted to come and introduce myself to you.
Thank you so much. And I really, what I take from this is these little things. It takes just a little bit to share, and the connection is way stronger after that. So absolutely. We're stuck together now. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. I love it. Gisela Moral. Hey, how are you guys? This is Luis. No, well, I'm going to start again. Hey, how are you guys? I'm Luis with the Sunday Afternoon Project, and we have here Sean and
Jeff.
Jeff, sorry. Yes. So Let me ask you something, guys. What are you guys passionate about? What excites you? What makes you get out of bed every day?
Oh wow. I think I'm passionate about education in general, specifically early childhood, because I believe that's our best investment in a better future for all of us.
I love that answer. Yes, and it is true. We need to start from the beginning. What about you, Jeff?
I'm passionate about technology and traveling. Technology because I'd like to, see what can be done to improve the world, and traveling just to get out there and see the world.
Oh, that's amazing. I love traveling too. I mean, who doesn't? Yes. So, when I say belonging, what do you think that belonging means?
For me, belonging is a feeling, I think. And I would say we've been blessed to be in Austin for an extended period of time. I don't want to
Yes.
date myself, but
Yes.
we weren't born here, but we got here as fast as we could. And it's a city we feel accepted in, encouraged to be creative in. And to me, those follow suit with feeling like you belong.
Yes. Would you like to add something?
I'd just say, being around family, friends and family gives you a sense of belonging. It's who you're around, not necessarily where
Yes.
you are.
Yes, it definitely does. And let's go back in time. If we could do that, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh my goodness. I think if I could go back in time, one of the things I would tell my younger self is to be more selective about my tribe, to keep my tribe small and encouraging, to find my people
That's
and
a
to
good one.
stay with them. Yeah.
I love that answer. What about you, Jeff? What would you say to that little dreamer boy?
I'd say to focus on the journey and not so much on the
I
destination.
love that one too. You guys are great. I think that we got new ambassadors for the Sunday afternoon project. I love your answers.
Well, we love your project. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, and thank you for having us there. Yes. Bye. You're there without a number.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It came through the right.
Okay.
Yeah? All right, so you're just going to come right over here. You're going to stand right in front of those two lines.
Why do they do this on the side?
On the side, well, we could look forward. I mean, I like looking forward too.
I like
She's got a lot of feedback.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm good.
Yeah. Get out of the view, boy. How do you say your name? Is it Nisa?
Nisa.
Nisa. Annika, it's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Oh, did you want to shake hands?
Okay, yeah, let's
Okay. It's like so awkwardly quiet in here,
I
right?
know.
A little bit.
That's good.
So
is this all part of the interview?
Yeah, it is. It's all part of the interview. Like it'll make you feel comfortable as well as myself. We all get nervous, right? So thank you so much for coming in to share your story on these 3 questions that we have for you today. So I'm going to get it started, and I'm curious to know if you can tell me what are you passionate about?
I am passionate about impact, and I think that that term has really graduated across so many decades. Specifically, I peg a lot of my impact around something called the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm the founder of something called Impact for SDGs that does government advisory and strategy around impact, around the sustainability goals for companies. As some of our portfolios are big brands and music, but I really feel that that holistically narrative around one word is really pushing our kind of overall thesis forward.
It's a lot of passion, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, shit. Hold on. My phone didn't put on Do Not Disturb. So can you tell me or tell us what helps you feel like you belong? Or what does belonging mean to you?
I think it's like-mindedness, and I feel that community is such an integral part of belonging. And I think that for so many years I've lived in London and Paris and Spain. I'm Canadian. I feel that belonging is very much like where you feel at home with your network, and I think that platforms like what Logic Tree has done with the Logic Labs, it's the passionate people come together, and I feel that's where you really build your community in your home.
That's amazing. Has there ever been a time that someone's helped you feel like you belonged?
I would say I have a long list of mentors, but I would say my first mentor really kind of excited my brain. He nourished me with a lot of very interesting information. My dad, my dad has always kind of really furthered that type of, discussion at the table, and I always felt myself and was very much celebrated. So I think that, those people really help build who you are and who you want to become.
That's great. You surprised me with your dad.
Yeah.
That's very, very close. And then our last question here is, what advice would you give to your younger self if you could?
I think to be a lot of people, there's a lot of information that's coming out around global governance and the state of the world. And I would say to be optimistic. I think that a lot of young people are very nervous, are very, fear-based. The media hasn't been as positive. And I think that when I look back at my younger self, you're a doer, right? So I feel that there is this kind of let go of fear and embrace change, because I think that it's so important to do that.
Absolutely. So I think that's a really great response. But let's think that you're talking to someone that's maybe on that adolescent age that you were. How do you think that you would help, share that message where they can interpret it correctly?
I would say take the opportunity. In one word, I would say take the call, go to that conference, talk to people, because you never know where that collaboration can be, and continue to learn. So I feel that don't operate in silos, read and talk to people who are very different from you and try and understand and be empathetic to their argument, because that is what's really going to build industries, get you your next job, and collaborate with kind of the next phase.
That's a wonderful answer. Thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing your story with us.
Of course. Thank you.